It's like metal.
Oh, I think I'm paralyzed. I think I just paralyzed myself. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm okay.
Man.
Oh. But my nose bleeding? Oh, my nose is bleeding. Or it feels like it's bleeding.
Whoa. Oh man, maybe we need to upgrade our speakers. And mics. And cords. And instruments.
I don't know, man. I think it's time we bite the bullet and start looking for a bass player.
I don't know if we need to do anything too crazy. Just upgrade all our stuff.
We're using volume to fill the gap of a third member who would have a whole other instrument. We're overcompensating, and it's not in the way that I usually like to.
I hear what you're saying, but adding a third member is just gonna throw off all our chemistry. It's always just been us. Me and you, man.
True. Except for that time that we did have a bass player. And he was weird.
Bass players are never on time. They don't get along in group settings, even though they can't have solo careers. We work well together, man. We get along while we're playing the songs. It's fun. It's easy. You know, we have a good time. Imagine trying to bring someone else into this songwriting process. Now. It's working great as it is, and if we bring someone else in, it could be a huge monkey wrench. Or a kink, if he's British.
But we're only getting 2/3 of the sound, and just turning up the volume isn't cutting it. And we can't upgrade our equipment, because then we won't get that old rock sound. I'm fixing that speaker. And then I think we should go down to the bar and post an ad for a bass player.
It'll never work. We've been friends since the 80s, and we've had a band since the 90s. You can't just add another guy in. We've been buds, you know? You and I, we're like the two main guys in Rush.
Rush added a third guy. And then they became one of the biggest bands of all time. Have you ever wondered if maybe the reason why we haven't hit the big time yet is because we're still just a two-piece?
No. The Black Keys don't have a bass player, and they made it.
I guess you're right about that. But they're the only ones.
What about Death from Above?
That guy actually plays bass and keyboard instead of guitar.
Hall & Oates! Got you there. Ho ho!
They were a duo in name only. When they played live, there was like 5 guys on stage.
Still, they were an inspiration, duos everywhere. Their success, pivotal to the progenation of duos yet to come.
I'll admit they're the reason my first car was a Fiero. But I bought that on a dare.
Are they still making music, by the way?
Yeah, I think they are periodically. Pretty impressive since they're both in their 70s now.
They're in their 70s? Oh. Man, I saw them on TV recently. They look like they're only in their 60s. Huh. I guess rock stars really don't age.
Well, they've always said that rock keeps you young.
Well, they actually only said that it would keep you young at heart. But exteriorly, it would age you horribly. A lot. But I guess in Hall & Oates' case, they were wrong.
You know, I heard they actually hate being called Hall & Oates.
But those are their names.
Yeah, but they always wanted to be called by their full names. Daryl Hall and John Oates. Sounds pretentious if you ask me.
You know, MTV was probably the ones who dropped their first names. And once they were dropped, it was out of their hands. Once upon a time, MTV was like the word of God.
Sure was. Now it just uses the name to try to sound cool. What the hell does music have to do with teenage pregnancies and the beach in New Jersey? And all those dudes with haircuts like Guile from Street Fighter?
You know, they used to think that listening to rock music caused early pregnancies. Which may be true. I remember there was a couple of shows that we did.
If they want to show us the day-to-day lives of all these people that aren't rock stars,
Shall we?
Show us when they're listening to music or when they're watching awesome music videos on TV. Just show us something that's got music in it.
Well, they got those secondary MTV channels. They play the music videos on there.
I screwed up my cable bill this month. I tried to cancel the Playboy channel and I ended up canceling all those extra MTV channels instead. I didn't realize how much time I spent watching music videos, but man, do I ever miss it.
Rick was saying something about watching music videos on a computer. I don't know how to do that. Do you?
No, I don't miss them that much. Speaking of Rick, I guess when we go down to the bar later, I'll post an ad for a bass player, huh?
Whoa, just like that? No discussion? With your band member? Me?
I thought we just did discuss it.
Yeah, and I thought we just decided against it.
I thought we didn't not decide against it. And that we were probably therefore going to do it.
We both thought, bass is overrated because we have to deal with a whole other person.
I think maybe we should just stop thinking.
Yeah. We've never been very good at that. Especially you.
Tell you what, I won't start actively looking for a bass guy. I'll just be on the prowl.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to go out and start auditioning bass players. That's how you find crappy ones. Or the guys who show off. We don't need any of those guys who show off.
No. You want one that blends in. Or even stands behind the guitar player, so you don't really see him at all.
Precisely. Getting a third guy, that'd be a real shock to our fans. It'd be best if they don't notice him.
Hey, whatever happened to that one kid? Dustin Remerschneider's brother? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he asked us to play his senior prom because he couldn't find a band and he was going to play bass with us. Remember? And we even went back to Garfield and jammed in the music room.
Yeah, that was weird being back in our old high school, huh? They treated us like celebrities. We didn't know any of them, but they all remembered us. That was awesome.
Yeah, man. Remember that one girl asked me if I would be her date for prom?
Oh, yeah. That's why we didn't do the show. We had to call it off just to prevent you from getting Courtney loved.
That was your rationale, but if you ask me, I think you were just jealous.
Jealous? You think I was jealous? Because you got asked out by an 18-year-old? We were already like 20. I think we were even 21. We were old enough to buy beer. And you think I wanted to date an 18-year-old? Even if she was really hot?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And I wasn't going to date her. I just thought it was cool that she asked. Poor Dustin's brother, though. He was really looking forward to that gig. He would have looked like the man up there, playing with us from his whole school.
Oh yeah, he would have. I hope he didn't get too much backlash for us bailing on him because of your screw up.
Apparently he did. They hated him after that. They weren't able to find a band, and I think they ended up with some crappy DJ, and they blamed him. You really screwed him up, man.
Me? I'm not the one who got asked out.
I know. I was. Hey, I was perfectly happy to be the consort of a hot date and then go rock the roof off that place and redeem the debacle of our own prom.
I screwed the kid. Like I'm the one responsible for all these potential Courtney loves walking around. Yoko Ono's responsible. She started it, and then Courtney Love perfected the dark art. That's not my fault.
What kind of songs do you think that DJ would have played that night? It was 2004, right?
Yeah, it probably would have been Usher all night with a couple of Outkast songs, even though they were released the previous year. Some Lil Jon, Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, or D. Pitty. But that album of Usher's was by far the most popular of the year. Like, pretty much every single on it spent significant time on the charts.
Man, we really let those kids down by not playing. It's a whole another year with no cool music.
Pretty much. It was the year of the compilation album. Pearl Jam put out, I think, 2, and Anthrax put out 1. And after 3 long years, the Nirvana box set with the lights out was finally released.
Oh yeah. It was worth the wait though. Courtney Love.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Dave and Chris wanted to release that box set when we were still in high school, but Courtney Love said no, just because she could. She deprived Kurt's fans more of what they love just because she had the power to do so. And I bet every piece of Nirvana memorabilia I own that she'd do it again.
Yeah, I know. Let's just change the subject. You're getting too worked up. Let's just calm down, okay?
Yeah, sorry. No, you're right. I always get too worked up when we talk about Courtney Love. Okay. Oh, it wasn't all bad from Courtney Love that year. Because she released her first solo album. And when we first saw it at the record store, we laughed our asses off.
Oh, yeah. That's the one where the Courtney Love is like a drawing of a super hot girl. It's like 10 times hotter than she really is, but with Courtney Love's face on top.
No, because 10 times 0 is still 0.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that equation means. I'm not a math guy. More like street smarts, you know?
What were you talking about again?
So that Nirvana box set and a couple of compilation albums, that was all you bought in 2004? Like nothing new?
Well, of course I bought some new stuff. Megadeth, Motorhead, and Exodus all had albums that year, which were okay. That's the beauty of being a thrash metal fan. There's always something out there. You just gotta know where to look.
I never know where to look.
Hang on, I'm wrong. Green Day released American Idiot that year, which normally I'm not the biggest Green Day fan, but credit where credit's due. That album is cool.
Oh yeah. That's like a concept album. Like a rock opera. What do they call that? A rockera.
Here's a hot take. Jesus of Suburbia is the best song to have come out in 2004.
That's not a hot take at all. That song's awesome.
To me and you, it's not a hot take, but to the overlords it would be. Boulevard of Broken Dreams is what won the Grammy. And I think Jesus of Suburbia was the only single from that album that Green Day didn't put on their greatest hits. So I guess they'd think it's a hot take too.